the accommodation at the Big Pink M. So we arrived at our accommodation, entering the courtyard through the coachhouse into a large enclosed cobblestone courtyard with a central garden feature. Large pink M on the front of a freestanding water feature. The other end of the garden featured a bridge and a pond with a fountain. I asked for a room with a view, which I got on the second floor. Now I looked out on my panoramic view. I could see, amongst other things, in the landscape was a big yellow M, which I'm reliably told is an agency with the American Embassy. It appears to be having a great deal of activity. I came to the conclusion that a lot of people were going on holidays and a lot of Americans wanted to migrate to Echuca, or at least seek asylum. So I settled in a room which I shared with another chap. I got the double bed, which was huge, along with the room, the bathroom, the huge thick towels, which brought me to the conclusion that I could have bought my pet elephant, though I would say it'd be a bit of a tight squeeze in the shower cubicle. That's with my pet elephant, of course, as I still need to lose some weight. Of course, I did not bring my pet elephant for the simple reason he snores, and I can't get any bloody sleep. Besides, it always wants to go walkies, and I'm tired of picking up after him. What a mess. So now I had to deal with the room. I was off to the watering hole, where I was indulged by the lovely, courteous staff. Then it was off to the dining room, where the food was wonderful. There were two things that concerned me. One, they kept battering the fish, which I asked them not to do that, and on the grounds it was inhumane. Second, they kept serving large bowls of wonderful fresh fruit salad with equally large bowls of whipped cream, which were enough to choke a draught horse. They then asked that in future, would you please make it low cholesterol cream and consider my waistline? So I completely gave up on the waistline for the duration of my stay, and the food and the pampering were just so bloody good. On the last day of our stay, after a very hot day, I decided to go to the watering hole for an hour and a half before dinner. Well, they made a really mean lemon squash. I had such a wonderful service in the watering hole, and now migrated to the dining room, where I had a wonderful dinner, complete with low cholesterol pork, a large bowl of fruit salad, and whipped cream. Yummy. Someone mentioned they'd not bought their bathers or bikini, lamented they'd not be able to go for swim in the pool. To which I lamented I'd not bought my new underwear either, so not be able to go in the pool either. To which there were great peals of raucous laughter, which I did not think was very nice. It was very hot, and I was in need of a cold bath. So, with swimming off the menu, I decided to retire to my bed, as we were leaving early in the morning. Unfortunately, I woke at midnight, as I had to water the horse. Remember all those lovely lemon squashes in the watering hole? Well, they came home to roost, which continued on and off for several hours. In fact, I thought I was going to drown the poor horse. So after having been unable to sleep for a couple of hours and having the air conditioner going full blast and just not cutting it, I decided to go for a stroll on the promenade in my blue polka dot shorty pyjamas with embroidered red J on them. Then came back to my room, where I proceeded to make a cup of coffee as quietly as possible, filling the electric jug and turning it on. Damn it! It roared in life, roaring and bellowing like a wounded bull in mating lust. I made a mental note to suggest they put a silence for at least a muzzle on it. Remember my poor dear friend, deep in blissful sleep? Now awake, sitting bolt upright, trying to determine what was about to descend upon him, from what direction, and of course why. After a few apologies, I decided coffee was off the menu anyway. I did not want to water the horse again. It was already treading water. So I decided to take a swim in the all together, as I'd not brought my bathers, and it was the early hours of the morning, and all was quiet on the western front. So I got my towel, tiptoed across the courtyard to the pool in my blue polka dot shorty pyjamas with embroidered red J. Damn it! Some thoughtful person had locked the gate. Pondering the thought of climbing the fence complete with pointy bits, but dismissed it on the ground. I couldn't think of a plausible explanation if I got stuck on the top. Climbing over, and had to get the help from the fire brigade, the nice police person, an ambulance, did not even bear thinking about. Besides, it might wreck my blue polka dot shorty pyjamas from embroidered red jay. But not defeated, and it was a bloody hot night, and the air condition just wasn't cutting it. I decided to try the plunge pool, complete with fountain. So I spread my towel on the bridge and proceeded to carefully scan the area for spectators. Having established the coast was clear and was all quiet on the western front, I proceeded to fold my blue polka dot shorty pyjamas with embroidered red jay neatly on the towel on the bridge, climbed into the water with the fountain spraying on my head. It was heaven itself. I was careful not to splash, as I didn't want an audience at this time. No one wants to see a beached white whale anyway. Then I had a troubling realisation that I'd climbed into a pool with a submersible electric pump. And having recalled an experience with electric fence where I was then fortunate enough to be climbing it over several years ago on a farm, came flooding back. When on the occasion I was unfortunate enough to be hit with 25,000 volts with 8 milliamps, thank God for the milliamps, not once but at least twice, after which I lost count. I should say it was really made the eyes water as I was climbing over that electric fence some years ago on the farm. It was a remarkably memorable experience. So when this memorable experience rekindled in my mind, I decided we're not so hot and I did not want to swim anymore, and proceeded to leave the pool with all due haste. Dried myself on my blue polka dot shorty pyjamas, complete with embroidered red jay, and proceeded to walk down the path of the bridge. Damn it, the stones were sticking to and into my feet as I tried to walk across the cobblestone courtyard. Now I was safely back in my room and in my bed, no one the wiser, and fell asleep. The next morning, after a wonderful breakfast that would feed a pack of ravishing boys, thank you for your wonderful service and efforts on our behalf. You're very good putting up with the ribbing of a comedian, artist, and bloody well done. Now you ask yourself, did he really get in that pool with you altogether? Was he alone? Well, that's one of the great unsolved mysteries of the great big pink M. Disclaimer, any reference to any person living or dead, or even partially, is totally derived by the manager and totally coincidental. Thank you.